Hey stars! So in this video, I'm reacting to how speedrunners beat the password game in 24 seconds. So yeah, if you're new to my YouTube channel and you enjoy this reaction, then you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on post notifications to like this video. By the way, this video is by Easy Speezy. Go.
Today I'll be showing you how speedrunners can beat the password game in under 30 seconds.
Okay, let's see it.
This is a
This
game
seems
where you need to
interesting.
make a very
hmm
complicated
I
password
remember this
that
game. I tried
follows
it, but I could never
35
beat it.
different
I couldn't
rules,
get
and the
past
speedrun has
guessing the
nothing
country one.
incredibly optimized. So to start, every run begins by pasting this text, but
Oh,
that's a little
interesting.
hard to look at with all the different fonts. So
Let's
here's what
see.
it is when all the characters are normal, and we'll go
Nice.
back to the resized
Makes
version
sense.
later. And right away, once you paste this password, a ton of the rules we need to worry about are already completed. For the
Awesome.
first 4 rules, they're that your password must have at least 5 characters, include a
Yes.
number, uppercase letter, and a special character, which are all pretty obviously done.
Yes.
Then rule 5 is that all digits in the password must add up to 25,
Yes.
which we have 2 1s, 2 9s, and a 5, solving that one.
Yes.
And rule 6 is you must include a month of the year, which
Yes.
we choose May. After that, rule 7 is having a Roman numeral in our password.
Yes, makes
so
sense, makes sense.
XXXV, which
XXXV
solves
equals
rule 9,
35.
since our Roman numerals need to multiply to 35.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, rule 8 is that we must include one of our game's sponsors, so we put Shell. Now
Nice.
rule 10 is when our speedrun actually finally starts, and here you need to include a CAPTCHA in the password. For this
Awesome.
rule, I like to find a CAPTCHA with only letters, so we
Makes
don't break
sense.
rule 5.
I remember
and
Orange
change
Peanut
your
said
other
that.
numbers. Next, rule 11 is to include today's Wordle answer, and there are 2 options for this. The strategy that the world record uses is to set your clock to a day in the future. This way, there's no Wordle answer since that day hasn't happened yet, and it gives you the rule for free. But if you don't want to change the date, you don't really have to. I did my run on September 13th, 2024, where the Wordle was harsh, and I was able to make it work pretty well with Shell. So either way, this is not a difficult rule, and you're not going to lose time no matter what you decide. Now rule 12 and 13 will also get auto-completed, because 12 requires having a 2-letter symbol from the periodic table, and we have vanadium, einsteinium, and platinum. And then rule 13 is to have the current phase of the moon in the password, so we just put them all. But on to rule 14, it's back to actually playing, since this rule is all about guessing the correct country from a GeoGuessr picture.
Makes sense, which is difficult. I was never able to do that.
Or you can memorize every possible picture. See, these pictures aren't actually random, and Glowbox64, the same person who made the guide for this speedrun, has a spreadsheet with a bunch of the countries. I chose to memorize a fair amount of them, but you can also have a cheat sheet on the side with a distinguishing feature of each picture, like putting fountain for Italy and golden statue for Cambodia. I'll leave all the resources in the description, by the way, along with Glowblock's channel, so feel free to check them out yourselves. Anyways, after finding the correct country for rule 14, rule 15 is to put down a leap year, and writing 0 solves that rule. Now the year 0 doesn't actually exist, but by some coding logic, this actually works. And after that, we're on to rule 16. And for this one, you get a chessboard and need to write the best possible move in algebraic chess notation.
I like chess, but I'm terrible at it.
193 possible positions that you can get for this question, so you can either memorize those or become okay at chess. You don't even really need to become good at chess, honestly, since for this speedrun, most of these solutions include putting their king in check, so that's all I really look for, and I'll usually just look for queen moves so we don't add more atomic numbers. The game will always stop you here though, since our chess notation adds in a number, but we can just subtract that number from one of our 9s. Now rule 17 is to add an egg to your password named Paul, rule 18 is to have the elements in your password's atomic numbers add up to 200, and rule 19 is to have all your vowels be in bold, all of which are already done. But rule 20 makes our password go on fire. This fire starts randomly at some point in the password, and if you don't stop it, the fire will keep destroying more and more of it. So you can either have really quick reaction speed and put it out immediately, or I sometimes like to copy the whole password except for Paul right before we fix our numbers, adding up to 25, and then paste the correct password over the now destroyed one.
That's actually genius.
Fix the numbers one more time with this, but that's not too bad, and it's way more consistent. Then rule 21 is to have 3 bodybuilder guys in the password, which we already do. Rule 22 is to have an affirmation, so we have I am loved. And rule 23 hatches Paul, who needs to eat 3 caterpillars every minute, and that's why we start the run with 6 of them. Just make sure you don't have more than 9 at any time, since then Paul gets overfed and dies. Now on to rule 24, we need to include the URL of a YouTube
this one's a hard one, I've never got to it.
The game gives us. Thankfully though, Glowblock64 also created a spreadsheet with every possible video length, and we can just copy it over to replace ESPT. Next, for rule 25, we need to select 2 letters that we can no longer include in the password. Usually the safe bets are J, K, Q, Z, W, and R, and then you just have to pay attention to which one of these you haven't used. The YouTube spreadsheet also includes which of these letters our YouTube link uses, so that helps as well. Now rule 26 is to have twice as many italic characters as bold, and rule 27 is to have at least 30% of the password in the Wingdings font, both of which are auto-completed. But then rule 28 gives us a color, and we need to write down its hex code. I just use a program on my computer to give me the hex, and it works out pretty easy.
The password game is
numbers, though,
a fun
so
challenge,
need to change around
but it's really
to
hard.
make it equal to 25 again, but usually not too much of a problem. Now rule 29 is auto-completed by having all Roman numbers be in Times New Roman, and then rule 30 we have some more work to do. This rule has us turn the font size of every digit into that digit square. So for example, we make 5 have a font size of 25 and 7 have a font size of 49. This is why some of our text is normally unable to be seen, since we have the option to make things a font size of 0 or 1. Then in rule 31, we need to change font sizes again by making sure every instance of the same letter has a different font size. So just gotta hope you don't have too many repeats. Next, for rule 32, we need to contain the length of our password in our password. So that's why we include 101 from the beginning, and then you can just remove or add a few Wingdings dots to make it 101 characters. It's also important that it's 101 exactly, since rule 33 is to have the length of your password be a prime number. Now rule 34 is a freebie since the game skips it, but finally rule 35 is a little tricky, because this rule should be auto-completed provided you did everything right. See, before we started the run, we set our clock to a little bit before 1 a.m. If you're going for a sub-minute time, you can do like 30 seconds beforehand, and if you're going for something like sub 3 minutes, you would do 12:58. So provided you got your desired time, the clock should be exactly 1 a.m., which we've included in the password from the very beginning, and there we go, it's finally done. At this point, the game finishes out by asking you if this is your final password, but before clicking yes, you need to copy your full password, since after clicking yes, the game asks you to retype the full password and disables the ability to copy it. Yeah, this rule may have ruined a run or two for me before, but after pasting the password, that's the full speed.
Or you could just type in the whole password again.
Video, here's a speed run with everything all together. Now,
let's see.
I'm not good enough to actually get a sub 30 second. That's a lot of memorization you have to do, but I still think I got pretty good at this game. Now, for
he's looking at a different tab to see which country this is.
I actually needed some help for that.
Belgium,
So I looked at my cheat sheet. After that, for the chess notation, I was looking for queen moves, and what I went with was queen f5. And that worked. I'm not smart enough to know why, but it did. Then, of course, it was time for the fire, so I did do the copy and paste strategy. We just got rid of all that stuff. Then we had to replace that back to a 4. Then it gave us the YouTube video. You see I have the YouTube spreadsheet right there. We can just go look up which one we're going to need and paste where ESPT is, which completely replaces everything, so we're good with that. We will have to fix our numbers again, though, so I have to turn
the numbers
into a 1. And for the letters we sacrificed, I just went with JK and hoped it worked, which it did. Then we got the color. We could just go ahead and use our color picker to figure out what that's going to be. And we got lucky because the only numbers in that color were zeros. So it was time to resize everything, and I was just hoping there weren't too many letters we would have to resize along with the numbers, so we get through the numbers first, and we actually got pretty lucky on that too.
That's awesome.
Only a few things we actually had to do. When you can, you want to combine your resizings like we did for the A.
Makes sense.
A was already taken, or at least that font size for it, and then I picked another one that was already taken, so I was kind of panicking.
Makes sense.
I was like, I want the sub 130, but
130 would be nice.
And then we have to make sure it includes the length of the password. We just get rid of
and don't forget to copy the password.
And that's time 127.
Congratulations, good job. 127.46.
on the leaderboard.
7th place worldwide. That's amazing. Easy speasy. That's awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for watching that video. That was a really fun speedrun to watch, and it was very entertaining, and I'm happy that everyone watched this video this far, that made it this far. Also, if you're new to my YouTube channel, then you should totally subscribe if you want this video, and turn on the post notification bell so you get notified when I upload new content. Also, like this video if you enjoyed the video, and I just want to say that I hope everyone has an amazing day. Bye, stars!